speaking the truth.
We're taking up space.
We are breaking the silence on menstruation.
This is the Red Dot Podcast.
Living first, stay fresh and clean. Nips are lies, you are a queen. Zero shame, oh yeah, shine so bright. Period power, own your light. Period power, own your light.
Hey girls.
Hi.
How you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Amazing.
That's
What about
nice to
you?
hear. I'm also doing great. Pleased to meet you.
I like the way you tied your scarf.
Oh, thank you. I'll teach you sometime. How's the weather been treating you?
So bad.
Yesterday was really cold, right?
And wet.
It
The rain was
raining.
But at least it's much
The
better
rain was not
today.
smiling, actually.
I'm Aisha, and with me here are...
Sylvia.
Rukaya once again.
Call me Shakira. And today I dare us to talk about that thing that makes us feel uncomfortable but sets us free.
Today, I welcome you to another exciting and educative episode of the...
Red Dot Podcast. Woo!
So excited.
Me too.
Here, we talk about endless possibilities, powers, and periods openly and boldly. In today's episode, Menstrual Health in Schools, the reality for Nigerian girls, we are talking about something that doesn't get enough attention,
Yes.
but affects millions of schoolgirls every single day.
Of course.
How menstruation is managed, or in this case, not managed in Nigerian schools.
You're right?
It is not new news that girls undergo hardships because of their menstruation.
Yeah.
Yet the place that is meant to help them to conquer and teach them how to overcome has become a cold dungeon of negative feelings and expressions.
I agree with you, Aisha.
Deleting empathy and encouraging snaring.
How terrible.
This in turn reduces the emotional quotients of girls. But today, we are peeling back the layers of silence and sharing truth. From stained uniforms and teasing to skipping schools due to lack of sanitary products or clean toilets, the reality can be tough. But through today's episode, we'll hear real stories, examine the challenges, and discuss what can be done to make schools period-friendly zones. Let's begin.
Aisha, you've been well, right? 100% right. You see, sometimes I feel as if when schools were being made, we were not considered. I mean, for my school, who makes girls' uniform white?
White?
White. Our skirts and our shirts is white. So it's as if they're actually waiting for us to actually have that mistake. That day we did not come prepared. So we were not considered. My school did not consider us, definitely. So before we continue, we need to listen to the voices of those who actually face these struggles every single day. The voices that matters the most, the girls themselves. So let's begin.
There was no water in the toilet. I had to use tissue paper and go home early.
That is bad.
That's not new news. Because our schools actually don't consider us.
Yes.
How will you say there's a toilet, but then there's no water
in the
inside?
toilet.
At least there are even toilets. There are some schools that barely even have toilets. And when they have good toilets, they actually lock them up.
Yes.
Who are they expecting to make use of it if they just put it under lock and
Tissue
key?
paper. She had to use tissue paper. Gosh, that must
Why
have
can't
been
schools
terrible.
irritating?
Yes. Why can't our clinic have pads for us? Because of they think that having painkillers like paracetamol in our first aid kit is important and mandatory. Having iodine to clean wounds is also mandatory. Then why can't they not make pads mandatory too? You can go to the clinic and say you need a pad, but then they'll tell you that pads are not available. They don't have pads. Why didn't you bring your own pad? And sometimes it just makes it's annoying for the fact that they don't consider us
At all. And then the girl said she had to use tissue paper,
And she had to go home early. That means she missed like half of the day.
which is equivalent to the entire day.
Yes.
And using tissue paper is actually not healthy because if tissue paper comes in contact with water, it begins to dissolve. So imagine having it in a sensitive part of your body. Like we're practically breeding infections. You know, we've heard of vaginal infections, yeast infections. These are the things that actually causes them, not unhygienic practices. Sometimes we think that it's always keeping clean, but such things like this actually what causes them. We might not realize it, but then we're bringing it to ourselves. And later on we say it was, the person was not hygienic enough. You didn't provide pads or sanitary products. So what were you expecting the person to do?
They laughed at me when I stained my skirt. Even the teacher said, "Why didn't you come prepared?"
What is scolding? Like, did she really need to scold her?
Wait,
Yeah.
what's teacher's problem and why didn't you come prepared? In most schools, that's their universal excuse. Why didn't you come prepared? Do you know that sometimes our period comes early, sometimes it's late. We're not the one that actually decide and say, okay, miss period. So today I'm going to school and I did not bring a pad or any product. Please come so I can humiliate myself. No, that's what they think we're saying.
Yeah.
Or we knew it was coming and decided that we would like to humiliate ourselves today, so we won't bring a pad.
They just believe that because we are keeping our calendar and stuff like that, that we will always
Be accurate. Sometimes we can't actually predict it. It's really unpredictable.
Yeah, I feel instead of scolding us, they should show us more support and love and give us pads when necessary.
Yes, and also I have a story so similar to that. And when we were practicing for sports in school, I wasn't expecting my menstruation. Wow. And it came unprepared. I was putting on my white jersey.
White.
White jersey.
Like white.
white.
The trouser and the shirt, everything.
The trouser
white.
and the shirt, white. Everything pure white. I was ready for sports. I was ready to break everywhere. Like, I was ready to run 800 meters.
Wow.
And on the process, waiting for the count and then to take off and run, my menstruation says, "Hi, Sylvia. I'm here. Please, I'm ready for you. You will not run today. Today is your day."
wait, you were in front of the entire school.
You know when everybody
Wait,
is
Sylvia,
outside?
is it a mixed school?
Yes.
Both boys and girls?
Boys and girls.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Everybody was hailing, like, "Yes, you can do it. Yes, run, run." I was feeling myself like, I'm going to win this race.
Yeah.
I was already feeling myself that I've already won the race.
okay.
And then my menstruation says, "Sylvia, I'm here. So you are not going to run today."
So what did you do after that? Like, didn't your friends come around to help you?
Oh, my friends.
Well,
I felt like shooting them straight into their head.
Oh my
What happened?
Instead of them to help me or cover me up so I will use a jacket and then go to the toilet and change, they were laughing at me.
well,
I was so
out in the open.
ashamed. Yes. Out in the open.
And they're your friends.
And they're my friends.
For critical laughter.
Okay, so wait,
They laughed
who did
at
you meet
me.
for a pad? And did they give you a pad?
Actually, I couldn't meet a teacher because I was so ashamed that day. So I just went to the class, carry my bag, use a jacket, cover myself, and then take a bike home. I didn't wait for the lessons that day because I was so ashamed of myself. Going back to schools and the boys were like, "Is that not that girl?"
That's the most annoying part.
The teasing of the
teasing and the
guys.
sneering.
Oh my God. They were so, I was like, I will never come to this school again.
But you still went.
I still went to this school.
So what did that experience teach you?
It taught me that I should always be prepared.
Yeah, like have a pad handy.
Have a pad in my bag. Even if I'm not expecting it to, a pad should always be in my bag
Yeah.
because a friend of mine will also need it.
Yes.
So it
Can never
teaches
tell.
me to keep a pad in my bag so that I will always be prepared ahead.
Yeah.
Were your school able to provide any pads?
My school, actually, I don't know what to say to that because I've never been to the clinic to ask for pad.
Wow. But you've gone for other resources.
Yes.
And they were
So
they
did you
provided it.
by chance see a pad anywhere?
Of course not. Okay, there are no pads. And when a girl in my class actually went to ask for pad and she was like, "What do you want to use pad for?" They were asking us all sort of questions. I was like, "Did you answer?" She was like, "Yeah, she have to answer." She almost opened her pants for the woman to see that, yes, she's already stained.
Let's listen to what the next girl has to say.
I stay home during my period because I don't have pads and the school doesn't help.
School never helps. What's the problem with our schools? Schools never help.
It's becoming quite annoying. Just like you said, your friend went to the school and then the nurse said she has to. So that means that there's a huge possibility that the school actually has the pads.
Yes.
They are just restricting the access for students.
Of course, because they think some girls don't want to use it. They just want to use it and play, or they
Why
just
would you
take
use a
it
sanitary
home.
towel to play?
I don't know. But the questions were too much. Actually.
Girls, these aren't rare stories. For many Nigerian
Yes.
girls, managing their periods in school is like a monthly nightmare that's filled with shame, discomfort, and mislearning. We've spoken about the real struggles, the real challenges. Now let's talk about breaking it down. What's missing? So why is menstrual health such a challenge in Nigerian schools? Here is the thing. It's not just about bleeding. It's about dignity. And right now, dignity is missing in many Nigerian schools. Here is why. The first one. Lack of access to sanitary products. Many girls cannot afford sanitary products regularly.
Yes.
We're students. We're not working.
I agree with
Some
you.
end up using
Of course.
tissues, rags, and old socks. And it's not just uncomfortable. It leads to infections, poor sanitation facilities, right?
Definitely. Most schools don't provide toilets. And even when the toilets, like Aisha said earlier, even when the toilets are available, it's under lock and key. Who are they expecting to use it? Cobwebs and spiders. That's just it.
Right.
Because of when they don't have clean, they don't even have the toilets in the first place to even think of clean toilets or even running water. You can go to a school and they'll tell you that for the past 1 week they had no water in the toilet.
And you know,
in
sometimes there's
schools.
no privacy.
No privacy.
No private place to change.
Yes. What do you expect us to do? Most girls tend to skip school because they don't have such things in their schools. Imagine missing schools for many weeks. It's hard to actually cope when you miss a lot of studies. They don't really consider us. We're not considered, are we?
No, we are not. And then just like you said, the running water of a thing. It's not like the school doesn't have it. They just sometimes decide to not let the students gain access to it because I don't know, maybe they feel students waste it. You know,
They use it to play. They don't
Yes.
have anything serious to do with it.
That's actually true because we know how our behaviors. We can just go and leave the tap running and waste water.
So that doesn't mean that they'll neglect us like this.
Yes.
That's
Children
actually
being
true.
neglected.
And also, lack of education and support.
Definitely.
Some teachers are not trained to support menstruating girls.
Many teachers shy away from it, even female teachers.
The major thing is empathy. Once there's empathy, every other thing can be settled. But if we don't get empathy from our own selves or our own teachers, how then are we supposed to control ourselves during our menstruation?
Yes.
Let's not forget the boys in our schools.
Right.
Those who actually
Menstruation is dirty.
They think it's shameful. And they call our pads pampers.
diapers. They call it AKA diapers. When sometimes when organizations come to schools to actually share free pads or tampons or menstrual products, they actually say, "Hey, they shared for you guys pampers, diapers."
Yes.
And then sometimes you just feel like punching the guy on the face.
But some girls can barely handle it. They actually begin to hide it.
Yes.
For Muslims, they can hide it on their hijabs, and then the Christians will just put it under their shirt and like run to class
And positively put inside your school bag.
Of course.
just so that nobody should come and tell them, "Ha, you're with the pampers." Just like that. But what exactly has this done? Like, what impact has it had on education?
According to research, 1 in 10 girls in
1
Africa.
in 10.
1 in 10 girls in
But
Africa.
that means 10 in 100.
100 in
course.
1,000.
1,000 in 10,000.
Oh my God.
Girls
that's a lot.
misses schools during their period. And in rural areas, it is likely much higher.
It's definitely higher.
And that is abstinence to school. It makes it difficult for girls to keep up with their schoolwork. And also, it makes them drop out of school.
Definitely. Because when you can't cope, there's nothing... You have nothing to do with school if you're not able to accumulate and learn.
And if you don't drop out, they'll eventually expel you because no school will want to keep a straight F student inside.
Yes.
And it's not just academics. Some girls lose confidence. They stop raising their hands in class.
Yes.
Menstruation should never determine a girl's future. When a girl misses school, a community misses progress. Because when you educate a girl, it changes literally almost everything.
Just like you said earlier in your story, how you had to
Go home.
and stay home for like 4 days.
like, what if you missed exams? No, let's not go there. What if you missed tests of strict teachers?
Yeah, and assignments.
There's this teacher in my school. I can never forget that man. Throughout the entire term, he would not give any classwork, no assignment. He can just come on a random day and give one
Unexpected.
test. And that one test accumulates for all the continuous assessments for the entire term. And you miss it 1 minute late, that's the end for you.
Oh my God.
Once he steps out of he's not collecting
So
your scripts
bad.
at all. Imagine if all these girls that are missing school have those kinds of teachers and then they just get no scores under their continuous
That's a
assessment.
drop in their academic performance.
And you know, some girls eventually drop out of school. I have a friend of mine, just as you have said, menstruation should not determine the future of a girl, but hers, it determined her future.
How? In what way?
What happened?
When she started seeing her menstruation, her dad said that she's matured, that she has now become a woman. She has grown into a woman. She now knows the difference between the left and her right. So she needs to get married.
How old was she?
15.
15.
15 years old.
Some people don't even know what marriage is at that age.
Of course.
So according to her father, if a girl started menstruating at 9 years old, she's a woman. She's an adult ready to get married.
She's matured.
Enough to get married.
Yes. According to him, that she's grown up,
wait.
she has breasts, she knows the difference between the good and the bad. So she needs to get married.
Allegedly.
And of course, her dad was not financially stable.
That adds up.
Yes.
So is she married now?
With 2 kids. Happily married.
it's not happily
Yes.
married.
The man she got married to is likely older than her father. Yes.
Usual. It's not news because of there are many hundreds of girls out there who are married
To men
that
older than them.
And them.
people that
how they
multiplies their
cope.
age more than 15
Yes.
times. You'd be surprised.
I've heard about
felt
this
so
in so
bad
many
for the
places.
I wonder how she's
but
coping.
I've not really come like this close to a case. Someone older than her father,
Yes.
2 kids.
2 kids.
But there are so many other things we can do to change this, right?
Yes. There is still hope because solutions are coming up. All is not
course.
gloom. It's not pitch black yet.
Yes.
Change is happening. Real, definite changes. And we're part of it because
Of course,
we
are
are.
part of it.
Because they say change begins with me.
With
In this
us.
case, us.
Yes.
All of us. We're all involved. All the girls. Every single girl is actually involved. So you see, there are 4 major things that can actually make a huge difference. So firstly, we have pad banks and free sanitary products in schools. Nowadays, we see NGOs coming to share pads
Yeah,
or
you mentioned
menstrual
pad
products.
pads.
Yes, just as we
Yes.
mentioned earlier.
A lot of them have come to my school.
Yes.
Of course, me too. Twice.
You see, when we have such things in schools, it actually helps girls, especially those from whose families are not financially stable. Actually helps them because of when your family is thinking of how to eat, your food, your shelter, your clothing. Most of the times, they tend to neglect a child's menstruation. So imagine when we're buying now, pads are actually expensive.
They are.
Imagine buying a pad for 1,500 naira.
But girls, you know what? There's this girl, she's my neighbor, right? She told me that they've never visited our school to share pad before, and I was surprised.
Wow.
Like, if we have NGOs that are like this, that means they need to be more improvement. They need to scale up. They need to distribute more, give out more,
Yes.
Givers are
For others to feel
Receivers.
among.
We need more NGOs like this to actually help us because of most times all these NGOs normally stop at the urban level. We don't normally get
Yes.
those at the rural or local level.
Yeah.
And they also
Yes.
mostly
They also
target
deserve
all
it.
girls schools because I'm from an all girls schools and I can actually boast that every term, not less than 3 times, we get given free pads every term. So when you said that the girls school has never shared pads, I'm kind of like shocked. So just like you said, yes, we do need the NGOs' efforts, but they shouldn't neglect particular segments of schools.
Yes.
Yes.
They should try to make it overall.
Circulate.
Yes, they
should
should
circulate.
locate each and every school in Every area.
Another thing that can make a huge difference is wash facilities, water, sanitation, and hygiene.
Oh,
Then I'm like,
that's
schools need clean toilets,
Yes.
running water,
Yes.
Of course.
bins
Yeah.
where they
Let's
can
not forget-
properly dispose the sanitary products.
Let's
Yes,
not forget
yes.
that. Because in my school, you do not want to go to the girls' toilets.
You're
You certainly...
There are some schools that once you enter, you just see the place looks like a refuse dump.
And there's some schools that they don't even have toilet. They usually use latrines,
And
pits.
it's smelling.
They don't. It's not frequently cleaned.
Because there are times when you go to some schools, I've gone to this government school whereby I asked for the toilet. The girl already told me that I'm warning you, don't go there. From the beginning, I was warned by a student don't to go there. So
Did you go?
at first I thought I was really first, so I had to go. But then when I saw the situation of the toilets, I decided that I can wait a few more hours. I can wait a few more hours before because it was not something to write home about because the toilet was which word should I use? Should I use unkept? Unkept is not enough.
Is that bad?
That bad.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
These wash facilities are needed.
Yes. We shouldn't forget teachers and peers training.
Yes.
Let's not forget it.
Of course. I think menstruation should be added into the school curriculums.
Yes.
It should be a subject.
Very good idea.
Yes.
It should be a subject. Menstruation for both boys and girls, and attendance necessary.
Yes. If they can sit both gender in the same room and tell them the same thing, definitely, if one wasn't there, another person will be able to help.
Of course. Education for all.
Yes.
You see, we shouldn't leave boys out once it comes to menstruation topics. You know, most times when they say, okay, we're going to teach you guys about menstruation,
Yeah,
how
they
to take
expect
care
it
of
to be
it,
only
they
the
expect that
girls
only the girl,
that
only
should
the
be
girl
seated.
gender should be seated and taught. But most times we forget that we have brothers. Those brothers have sisters will become fathers. You know, most girls find it hard to actually talk to their fathers once it comes to menstruation because of these fathers probably know nothing about it. So I can't go and tell my father that for fathers that don't know about menstruation, you can't actually expect their child to go and tell that Daddy, I'm experiencing cramps, or I need an extra my pad, I need money for pad. You know, sometimes it's
won't
actually
understand.
very
Yeah, like that.
embarrassing.
Can you
as
get
you
me?
have said.
Can you get me a heat pad? And that is like,
What is the heat pad?
Just as you have said, a friend of mine, when she started seeing her menstruation, just her and her dad. Who?
Wait, she belongs to a single father.
Yes.
That's,
She was
that's
like,
terrible.
I don't know what to do. I don't know how to tell my dad that I'm on menstruation.
So you must have probably boosted her morale. Like, come on, girl, go tell your
now.
dad about it.
Go tell him. The girl she was not that bold, so I was like, good evening, sir.
You met him?
Of course. I was the supporting wall she had at that time
To tell her dad.
must
to
have
tell her dad.
That's good of you.
I'm so proud of you.
So proud.
Menstrual health shouldn't be a barrier to education, but for many Nigerian girls, it still is.
Yes.
But now, we are rewriting history and we are changing that thought.
Of
At the Red
course.
Dot Podcast, we believe in building a world where every girl can sit in her classroom confidently. No shame, no fear, no missed opportunities.
At all.
Just
course.
because
Yes.
she's on her period. If you're a teacher, parent, policymaker, or just a listener who cares, ask yourself, what can I do to make school more period friendly? Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe,
Comment.
Until next time, stay informed,
Stay empowered.
And keep breaking the silence.
See you guys next time.
Period power, own your light.
Period power, own your light.